Hello everyone. So today we are going to work on the study how to work on controllers in Laravel 8. So with this kind of work, I'm just going to introduce you with my latest project, that is Laravel project, having different types of folders in it. And you can see I'm just going to work with web.php located in browse folder, and one more folder is executed to be kept in mind, that is app http controllers folder, wherein my controller will be located. So with this thing, let me introduce you with my command prompt, that is commander. So let's welcome my commander. Okay, so let's wait for some minutes for it to get loaded with some of the functionality. Also, okay, it's now loaded. Let me go to the particular folder where my project is located. And one more thing, I'm just going to, okay, I will need one more terminal. Let's start one more terminal with another tab in commander. You can use command prompt if you wish, I don't mind, fine. So in this case, in the first terminal, I'm just going to type php artisan serve. That is my development stage, and you can see the development stage is now started. Okay, so in the another case, I'm just going to type php artisan, and then let me show it to you the entire list that artisan command actually supports. So this list actually supports many commands, out of which we are going to just concentrate on one command, and that is make controller. This controller will actually create a controller class for us, and this class will be automatically produced by our artisan command. Let me clear the screen and type php artisan make me a controller, and then I'm just going to type controller name. This is the syntax, fine. For controller's name, I'm just going to type employee controller. Okay, so this was it. Let me show it to you one more thing, that is Visual Studio Code. Over here there is no employee controller, as in when I press enter, it will automatically create one controller, that is employee controller, fine. So you can see that employee controller is now created, and all sorts of information are preloaded with it. So I'm just going to create public function, that is public function index, and this public function index will be nothing but echo hello world, or anything. If I like, I can type hello I am index method. Let me see if I can type it on. Okay, so do not forget semicolon over here, because it's ultimately a PHP code, fine. So with this thing, I'm just going to back with web.php, into which I'm just creating one more stuff, that is get method. I'm calling route get method and telling the browser if anything occurs in the browser with an event /emp in the browser itself, do call employee controller index method. This is what its meaning is, fine. So employee controller is the class, and index method is the method inside it. So if it discovers /emp in the browser, it will call index method of employee controller, fine. Okay, so this was pretty much easier. And if it calls index method, it will obviously print hello I am index method. So let's create and run it. Fine. Okay, so let's fire it out. Localhost 8000 /emp. With this /emp, it directly shows me an error. Yes, you do have employee controller, but I do not know where does it located, fine. So I need to tell my index method, web.php method, that my employee controller is located is nothing but in app http controllers folder, into which my class is available in employee controller .php class, fine. So I'm just using it as an import. Use is nothing but just like an import, fine. So now the error has been solved. So thanks to me, I just solved your error, fine. So with this thing, everything is working fine. Now one more thing, what if I want to pass some variables into it? Say for example, I want to pass name or first name. Let's check it out. So first name has to be defined over there in the route, and I'm just capturing that name over here in my method itself. So let me change a little bit, that is concatenating my $first name with the echo hello. So whenever somebody says /employee/ anything else, the name, fine, say for example, let me type John and Kennedy. So it's typing enter, it says hello John Kennedy, fine. So the next portion of it is, say for example, what if I want to pass two different variables? So nothing to worry about, just type last name, let me type N as a capital, okay. So it will execute two different names with $last name as my second argument. Voila, this is done. Let me concatenate with the previous string that I have created it, and let me save it and run it, fine. So let's type John /Kennedy and press enter. Output remains the same, but I know you are wondering if it is working or not. Let's type Bill Gates, fine, pressing it enter, now it's working, fine. So guys, at least believe me, I'm working very fine. What if I type Steve space jobs? It does not give me an particular message. This is because I need two arguments that has to be compulsory over here. That's why Steve space jobs is not going to work, but Steve/jobs is going to work, fine, because my routing address says that first name and last name are compulsory, fine. So in this context, let's work it. Okay, now what if I want to say that first name and last name are optional? That means if any variable that is optional, we can make it, it's okay. Somebody does not want to provide their last name or first name or mobile number or gender or anything as such, fine. To make you understand the entire hierarchical structure of my entire life story of this address bar, let me introduce a building structure. Say for example, there are 4 floors of building, that is ground floor, first floors, second floor, third floor and fourth floor, fine. If say for example these 4 floors are to be scrolled one by one, fine, and this represents the entire hierarchical structure of my entire address bar. So ground floor is nothing but my localhost, /emp is nothing but my first floor, first name is nothing but my second floor, third floor comprises of last name, and fourth floor does not exist, means I am not going to use any of the argument as in fourth argument, fine. So remember that if you want to scroll to third floor, the first 3 floors, that is ground floor, first floor and second floor, are compulsory, fine. So say for example my person wants to only scroll to first floor only, the second and last, first name and last name can be null. So this is possible because ground floor and first floor, person wants to go to till first floor itself, fine. So if I do not provide any of the argument, fine, it says hello without error. Yes, no doubt first name and last name are null by default. This is an optional parameter, so this is possible. What if I want to go with one more stuff? Let's make last name as null and first name as compulsory field, fine. Let's see. So this is also possible. So going to second floor, that is first name, fine, you have to scroll to ground floor, first floor, that is EMP, and last name or a first name, that is Steve, fine. So this is possible and it will not show any error, fine. And in the another context, say for example we create a vice versa stuff, and what if I want to go for last name as compulsory field and first name as null field? This is not possible, but in the previous case it was first name was compulsory, last name was null. This is possible, and you can see the output. But in Now the case, let's test this case. First name becomes null and last name becomes compulsory. This is not possible. Why? Because you cannot go to the third floor without scrolling to the second floor. The entire building cannot float in the air. Fine. You need to go to second floor, whether it be by lift or by ladder, doesn't matter. Fine. So in this case, let me show it to you. This fundamental step, this is fundamentally wrong. Fine. So last name is compulsory and first name is null. This is fundamentally wrong. Say for example, I type it Steve Jobs. Fine. It takes as an argument as a first name, yet I haven't entered any of the code yet. But now let me test it and change the value, that is last name should be compulsory and the first name should be optional. And just let me change the values. Fine. Okay, so let's test it. Okay, so with this thing it will directly show me an error. Fine. Boom. Fine. So 404 error not found because the entire building cannot float in the air and you need to scroll to second floor to reach to the third floor. Fine. So second floor cannot be null, that is first name cannot be null. So this hierarchy structure, if you can understand it very well, you can understand the entire addresses located on the address bar. Okay, so this was it on how we are going to work with our address bar. What if I want to say, once again let's type it, that last name and first name should be null. This is possible and we have already seen it in the first section itself. Let me once again show it to you. It's going to work on. Fine. So it's working. Fine. It says first name as a Jobs. Fine. No doubt. Obvious, because the first argument is first name, whatever you type in material. The second argument is null. Fine. Okay, so let's go one more step ahead with validations. Just going to delete this thing to empty up the space, and now let's go with validations. So I'm just typing where first name, fine, and let me type A to Z. Let's see if it's working or not. Okay, and capital A to Z, that is small and capital characters both should work in a physical format. Let's test it out. I'm just typing it, no first name provided. Fine. Say for example, if somebody does not provide any first name or last name, fine, then rather than keeping it null, it doesn't look nice. So I just typed it no last name and first name provided, and I'm just typing optional parameter to over it. Fine. So by default there is some value which has to be executed. Laravel knows it very well. So I'm typing, let's type John/Git and pressing it enter. So you can see John and Git are now working. Fine. Now let me type only John. It is going to show me no last name provided. What if I want to go for /emp, no first name and last name provided. Fine. Okay, so this is pretty much easier. Along with, now let's go with one more stuff, and that is you can also define the entire structure in this format also if there is only one variable to be checked as in validation. Fine, it doesn't have any problem. So you can see it's working. Fine. What if I type 123? Validation will be making it sure that 123 is not the part of regular expression, so 404 not found. Fine. So Laravel is going to be pretty much conscious about all the validations that you have kept using routing. What if I want two different variables, that is first name and last name, both should contain validations. So in this case, let me say first character of the last name should be capital, that is A to Z, and the rest of the characters, whatever you type, should be in small. This is the validation I want to keep it up. Fine. The first name can be capital and small, doesn't matter, but last name should be in this fashion that first character should be capital, the rest of the characters should not can be small. Fine. So I'm just typing John Gid. It's going to work. But what if I type John Gid? Fine. It is going to show me an error, as you can see on the screen. Why so? And this is because the Laravel is pretty much smart enough to understand this regular expression and also shows me 404 not found. Okay, so this was it about validations. What if I want to say that I want a name and I want to give the name to this routing parameter? Fine. This because you can use this route parameter in your programming logic where in the controller itself to make the entire thing short. So this will help you in PHP code to call this route from anywhere. So in the next coming session we will be using some part of it over this portion. Fine. So output does not remain the output does not change, but yes, you can provide the name to this particular routing. Fine. And here we go with the code that we have already scrolled it up. Do not forget to import it. The image that is shown in the wallpaper has been taken by the Pixabay. Fine. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Do like, share, subscribe to my channel and comment in the section below. Thank you. Bye bye.